This is Chaotic Vice 777, otherwise known as Vice the Fallen Paladin. So, as promised, Ash is going to be my 5th level 120. So, let's go ahead and get started. I made sure to have enough experience again. It basically ate through all of my inbox and second archive to get this done. Just as a sort of progression on what's going on with my account, um, I've pretty much gotten all of the units I've really wanted, with the major exception being the Count of Monte Cristo. So he will be released in Ordeal Call 2. So there's not really a rush in getting him, and especially because Ash literally ate away all of my resources, not only in materials but also in Saint Quartz. I know I've done some impulsive rolling in other banners, not as much as you would think, but enough to drop my remaining funds down to 17 Saint Quartz. I could convert my Saint Quartz fragments, but I don't really want to do so at the present moment. And since there's no rush in doing so, I'd rather just leave it off until it's necessary. Okay, so we're about to be finished. So with this, Ash will be level 120. Perfect. Respite is only eternal if you are Bond 15. Maybe, because there's the Grand Servant system, and Bond 15 apparently gives extra Bond bonus. So, well, that's even if I even get there in the first place, because it takes so long to get to Bond 15. If it took me like 2 years, maybe, but I'd have to field her all the time, which I don't necessarily want to do, especially if I'm trying to field Koyanskaya and Oberon. There we go. The big ol' 120. Alright, so I think what should happen appropriately is doing an account progression overview. I'm going to start off with the craft essences because they're going to be simpler to go over compared to the servants. So as you can see, I have multiple level 100 craft essences. So besides the standard best in slot CEs, as you can see here, I have Cranking, or First Day of Filming, I have Ocean Flyer, and I have Traces of Christmas Past. So beyond the standard 50% starting charge CEs, I've also invested into a lot of high utility CEs. We're talking about, you know, the generic ones like the extra Buster, extra MP and crit, extra attack. But then we have like the niche ones like, okay, there's no MP charge, or, you know, Black Grail being a generic ultra offensive CE, and then I have defensive ones and niche ones like Fondant or even Maiden in Halloween. So I even leveled up the foams just to maximize my attack while farming QP. Your mileage is going to vary on this though. I would like to get more copies of K-Scope, but beyond 7th anniversary and without any raid up or events, it's just going to come down to a matter of luck, and even then I would need 3 more copies because I would want to MLB 1 K-Scope and then have 2 more so that I can equip the front line. Or is it 6? It might be 6 because of it kind of depends on consistency. Like, do you care about the support or do you not, right? Just for comparison, I've MLB'd 2 copies of Black Grail, so I've had 10 copies of Black Grail compared to 4 copies of Kaleidoscope. Other CEs are worth noting are like Child of Atlas or Where is it? I'm trying to look for it. It's Ox King and Gouda Gouda Poster Girl. Yeah, there it is. I wish Ox King got a rerun. I know they released older CEs, so I'm hoping that in the future we get more of this type. And then as for Gouda Gouda Poster Girl, if I can find it, let's see, right here. 3-turn taunt is just completely ridiculous. If you ever MLB it, there are some applications for the offense because it goes from 60% to 80%, so you can sort of make up for the fact that it scales off HP. These effects are so unique, they're really hard to replicate. I know there are alternatives, like I know there's like going to be a CE that gives 15% attack, but it's just not the same. So right now, my current leveling project is Like a Lady. Right now it's at level 98. I'm just waiting for the Gouda Gouda rerun, just so that I can. It's not the Gouda Gouda rerun, right? It's I mean there will be a Gouda Gouda rerun in the future, but I think it's like the upcoming Gouda Gouda one with Shingen and company. That one I think is extra friend points and stuff. Like you can get extra copies of Nobukatsu and stuff, so it's a good way to reload on coins and make CE bombs and stuff like that. That's pretty much what I'm waiting for. Yeah, other than that, there really isn't any other CEs that are worth talking about. Like most of the 4 stars are pretty much Event or Valentine or Bond, and then everything else is just like CE bombs and stuff like that. But yeah, like right here, you can see like the 2-star and the 1-stars. I've made multiple CE bombs just to prepare for the future. Alright, so next up, let's go over to my servant roster. So even before we talk about any of these servants, let's just establish some context. Only a few of my servants have earned grails. The reason why is because I have to really like the servants, and their gameplay has to be good. I can't just say like I like a character necessarily and then your gameplay isn't good, because at that point it's like maybe I would take them to 100, but I would never take them to 120. You're gonna also notice that I have some servants that are under level. These are a combination of I'm testing them out for esports, for interns. Otherwise, maybe I have too many copies of the servant, like welfare is getting reruns and showing up at evocations. So at that point, like why would I re-level the same servant multiple times, right? I'm not that desperate to sync QP and resources. Besides the level restrictions and newly acquired servants, my roster has level 9 skills bare minimum, and then scaling batteries deserve lores regardless of the rarity. So you can see, like I've been trying to max it out. Any batteries deserve grails. Side note, I had to, I'll fix it right now. I didn't realize I had enough resources, but yeah, I'll level up Don Quixote right now. Let's fix that. I said that I would do it, and since I have the resources, I'll obviously do it. Okay, back on topic. So, going back to the Spirit Origin list, there are 4 other servants that were invested to level 120 before Ash. So that would be Morgan, Kentucky, Space Ishtar, and Edmond Dantes. Morgan and Ash are going to be a package deal along with Edmond Dantes and the Count of Monte Cristo. So like those two are like really high. Like they're, if we had to phrase it, they're like the main waifu and husbando on my list. So at that point, I'm getting all versions of them. I'm gonna push them to 120, get them the NP5, so on and so forth. Yeah, I mean, the main reason I chose them is because I like their stories, I like their appearances, and I mean, hey, their gameplay is really solid. I mean, Dantes himself is a bit aged, I will have to admit, but at the time, and especially if it's buffed now, it's a better situation now. But I mean, he's Bond 15, so you know, him being Bond 15 and Scotty being Bond 15 is like he can basically take a vacation outside of like min turns and stuff like that. Okay, so why Space Ishtar? Which tangentially, both Space Ishtar and Castoria are approaching Bond 14, so that's already pretty scary, as it were. But the whole point about Space Ishtar is that she is a bad Ishtar. You can see it in the profile material, and you know, I don't like Ishtar. I have a soft spot for Rin, so when you have that combination on top of Saber Wars 2 being a fun story, yeah, you know what? She gets the pass. She's the arts looper, Dantes is the quick looper, and then Morgan is the buster looper, and then Ash is like multi-core. Same thing for Kentoki. Let's see. I would say that Space Ishtar probably wants a buff on the third skill, especially because I wouldn't want to deal with the RNG, as it were. Yeah, she's definitely falling behind due to the tough competition, as it were, but it's not like she stopped being a competent arts looper. And, you know, being able to swap card types is pretty nice, right? But I mean, like, if I had to think about a buff, it would be like increase the buff success chance maybe on the second skill, and then maybe introduce a divine power mod or something like that, or some sort of niche power mod, so that, you know, she has a fighting chance besides class advantage on Space Ereshkigal. Let's see here. I guess the final candidate that we should talk about is Kentoki. So Kentoki is my single core, what am I saying? Not single core, single target attacker. It was that or Summer Castoria. I chose Kentoki because I like this story, especially after Heian-Kyo. I like his personality. It's very bombastic, and I mean, I would like to have an equal representation of husbandos and waifus. So yes, it's true that like there are people that can beat him, especially to hit leashes, but he still has like really quick MP buff. I mean, not he has a really quick MP attack. He has really good damage just because not only is he a berserker, but he has a buffed MP, so he still remains relevant even with year 1 kit. And I mean, if you think about, like, you know, being a berserker, buffed MP, and having year 1 skills is kind of crazy, just because that's how strong it is to be a berserker with, you know, like with everything going for him. So sorry, I'm going off the beaten track. So there are other units that have earned grails, both versions of Musashi and Melt. I like Musashi. She's hilarious. I find her attractive. Same sort of energy as Kentoki in that way. If I had the funds, I would also try to push Musashi to level 120. But this is incredibly difficult given that I'm trying to work on Dantes at this point in time. Well, the Count of Monte Cristo. I do have another unit that's been grailed, Heracles. So let's just go one step at a time. Let's start with Melt. So Melt earned the Grails because I like her story. During the Fate Extra CCC collab that they had, like I would argue that it is one of the best Epic of Remnant stories, and it also really gave her some very badly needed character development. Melt was also crucial for helping me raid ORT because before I had recorded a 17 turn clear, and that is the minimum amount of turns that you can do. And because ORT is Foreigner at certain junctures of the fight, it was pretty much impossible without Melt. Or I could have had a single target Foreigner, but Melt is pretty much like one of the viable options to wipe out ORT because it was a huge damage check. Like I had to throw everything at it and get good high rolls in order to one-shot ORT's final bar. So at that time, I figured, yeah, Melt deserved the Grails, and here we are. She's probably one of the only Sakura faces I'm tolerating because I don't necessarily say that Sakura is a bad character, it's just that I don't like the archetype, if that makes any sense. Alright, so the last one would be Heracles. So the thing about Heracles is he was one of my first 4-star units in the game, and he still maintains a solid presence in solos, last man standing, and Grail fronts. He's just been the old reliable when things go down and I don't know what, like if I'm going blind to a fight and I'm down to my last man, Heracles is one of those units that I would take. But I have a lot of last stand units, like I have Shi Huangdi, I have King Hassan, I have a lot of servants that can last man stand. It's just that Heracles is Berserker, so he gets that extra advantage. And I also recently NP5'd him with the Ash rolls, finally, so that was also nice. So let's go ahead and say that, well, I do have other candidates for Grail Servants. Artoria is a big one. I believe we are getting an SSR ticket soon. I might go for another copy of Artoria. I know that I got Artoria from once on the Heaven's Feel collab banner, once on the Melty Blood banner, celebration banner, and then once from the SSR, from the Fate's Day Night ticket. So there's that. King Hassan and Tesla are also viable targets as well. So yeah, these servants have had good presence in gameplay and pretty good personalities as well. I like them a lot. It's just, hey, it comes back around to, if I'm trying to work on Count and then maybe Musashi, it's just like, how can I work on all these other servants? I don't know, maybe GSSR's Destiny Order, it's just a little difficult at this present time. So let's go ahead and break up the pace a bit. I'm gonna go ahead and redeem my tickets right now, the Ultra tickets. Let's see, what am I gonna pick? Usually my standards are that I have to like the servant and I have to like the art. More specifically, it's not just I have to like the servant, I usually have to own the servant too. So unfortunately, Kuko Khan is out of the picture as well. Kama is certainly a popular choice, mind you. Same thing for Summer Ibuki. I have problems with Summer Ibuki's ankles, but that's neither here or there. Okay, Bazette is a potential one. And Lady Avalon. Okay. So it's between Summer Ibuki, Lady Avalon, and Bazette. Should I? Man, those ankles are just annoying me so. Like, Raida has good art, but sometimes the proportions it's too exaggerated. Don't redeem it yet? Yeah. I think I'm getting Bazette and Lady Avalon. Let's do it. Perfect. And then Lady Avalon. Yes. Okay. Great. There we go. So, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and collect all of these. Alright. Perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to the other SSRs on my list. Let's talk about the contentious SSRs now. Okay, let's start with Okita. Okita is NP3. So this came from a combination of rolling for Poster Girl and then from GSSRs as well. She is a very good single target quick attacker. She's the reason why I haven't been interested in Zero Medusa. And then I've had my fair share of spooks as well. So just going off the list, it should be Napoleon, Artemis, Vitra, Scheherazade, Enkidu, Achilles, Waver, Sanzong, and Drake. Yeah. They're just all spooks when I've rolled for SSRs, especially when I went for NP5, Space Ishtar, and Dantes. Drake, Tamamo, and Osaka Bihime are exceptions, just because I've gotten them through other means, ranging from the SSR ticket that we got, or rolling during raid-ups. So if we're talking about the limited, other limited servants, not just the spooks, we have Brynhild, we have Maid Alter, Summer Saber Alter, Maeve, who is story locked, Bazette, Summer Ibuki, and Arjuna Alter. Holmes is not a contentious role. Holmes was an esports role. It worked out. I didn't have to spend too much to get him. And when I mean spend, I mean, like, you know, spending a bit of free sync quartz. Overall, these units didn't take too many rolls. There was some RNG just because of GSSR and Destiny Order, but all in all, not too bad. And come to think of it, I think I got Okita and Da Vinci from the starter GSSR, the part 1, if I remember correctly. So let's see. If I really want to talk about the 4 stars, it's just the fact that they're a really good roster, especially with the welfares. Like, you can establish a really good free-to-play account with just the 4 stars alone. This is especially important if you care about party cost. The game has party cost, and it's not like you can equip a bunch of 5-star CEs and still expect to use a team of full 5 stars. Like, usually you have to drop the cost of the CEs, or you have to drop a slot entirely, depending on the situation. There is one example where I rolled for appearance more than gameplay, and that would be Consort U. She would be a potential Grail candidate, but she unfortunately is stuck at MP2, and as a consequence of trying to roll for Consort U, I also have MP2 Shi Huangdi. Now, I don't have any problems with Shi Huangdi. It's just that I'd prefer not to have MP2 Shi Huangdi and have MP5 Consort U. But, I mean, beggars can't be choosers there. So let's go to the main menu. Okay, so outside of, the free challenging quests on the main map, the free quests on Paper Moon, I've pretty much cleared most of the content in the game. You can see in, let's see here. You can see, I think in Lost Belt 7, I think I have one free quest still remaining, and then the rest are like costumes, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And then you can see if you move to the other maps, like this is Ereshkigal's costume, and then King Protea's costume. Like, I'm not doing those costume requests just in case, like, if there's a day that I get bored or something like that, then I can do them on my own spare time and maybe generate some content. Hard to say. I know the more challenging stuff, like these ones right here, the high difficulty requests, or perhaps, let's see here, the advanced quests. Those ones I still have to do, and I can get a good bunch of Saint Quartz. I haven't done the Bunyan and the Dantes one just because I've already done them in the past, and I'm also saving them in case I need to record more content. Let's see here. Anything else? I would say, let's see, I think I had Tron also not completed. No, Tron's clear. It's just I haven't done Tunguska for story replayability reasons as well. Let's see. You can see that my login streak is also not fantastic. Right now it's pretty mediocre. I had broken the login streak due to IRL concerns, and I've broken it quite a few times in the past. Honestly, at this point, I can't maintain a good login streak at times. Like, maybe I can maintain it, like 3 months, 6 months, and then I keep breaking it. But I still have maintained a good total logins amount. I think if you compared when I started the game versus the days that I've logged in, I think I've like quote-unquote missed like 50 or 60 days. Some of it was also during a short period of time where I burned out of FGO. So this was like during the what was it called again? It's the main reason why I only had one copy of Ox King. Let me scroll down real quick. Where is it? Yeah, right here. Sun Coming to the West. This one, I got so burned out because I didn't have any good farming teams at the time. So it was like, I had like my farming team at the time was like Borrow, Drake, or something like that. And it got so exhausting because they basically combined like 2 events into one. So it was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a break because otherwise I just quit the game. And well, I didn't want to necessarily quit the game because I got burned out from grinding events. So going back to the skills, I'm just going to repeat again that I've pretty much said that like the minimum that I try to do for all of my servants is 9, unless I'm trying to use them for like esports or something like that. Oops, sorry. So yeah, I've even done it on Jekyll and Hyde. If I can scroll down and find him real quick. Where is he? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna filter it out because otherwise I'm gonna lose patience. There he is. Yeah, I've also pushed him to 9, and you know what? Why didn't I forget about? I thought I leveled up his skill. Hold on. Yeah, no, I'm definitely pushing him to 10. I should rectify that. I should adhere to my goals and objectives. So, let's see here. If the skills are basically done, the appends are not. Like, these ones are a lot shakier. I'm going by health. I wonder if I should go by rarity. Yeah, maybe I should go by rarity. This is mainly because I've always been leery of the coin system. Like, in principle, the main rule of thumb is like you should go for extra NP charge. Once they unlock pens 4 and 5 and allow us to swap between which pens to use, I'll probably start working on pens as an additional resource sink, assuming that I'm not busy working on Ordeal Call. I think you can also see right here that I have a lot of bond grails. Actually, did I just pass over it? Yeah, right here. I have plenty of bond grails. I know I should be bond grailing more because it means more Saint quartz, but the reality is, like, I've been trying to bond up the rest of my cast. I find that more important to get those guys to like higher bond, like, you know, 8, 9, and 10, than trying to go for bond 11 through 15. And also, I want to slow down on how fast I'm getting bond on my supports as well. So that's also part of the reason why I went for Ash, so I could multi-core and get out of the hole. And then I've never touched command card enhancements, just because it's just a waste of time. It honestly is. Like, I don't have enough for all of my 120 servants, and you just gain like 500 flat damage. So like you can't increase it with attack. It's just plus 500. And when you're doing like millions of damage over a fight, 500 does like nothing. So let's see here. I have plenty of grails. If I wanted to grail, I could. I have 50 grails. There are 9 that I can convert from the fragments, or whatever they're called, like the tiers. Yeah, if I'm gonna use grails, I'm just trying to save them for the 120 projects. And if I need more grails, I do have 6 million friend points. Let's see. Yeah, so I have 6 million friend points, and I'm not in a rush to burn them, especially because I mentioned that I have the upcoming events to get more copies of Nobukatsu and company. So there's just no reason. Let's see here. If you ever want to add me as a friend, here is my ID. I have 3 slots available. First 2 to apply can easily get in. The 3rd slot I'm trying to save for emergencies. And then let's see here. This is the item list. As you can see, I've farmed a lot of these gems from models, so I'm not in a rush. I've also farmed quite a few of these pieces and monuments. This primarily came from the Da Vinci models, but I've also been grabbing these ever since Ordeal Call was announced in JP. So you can see that the big one here is all of these Saint quartz fragments. Right now, my main goal for those is to work towards 6,090 and 63,000 Saint quartz fragments. This is specifically for Reddit memes. So it's the like, so you know how there's a CE a craft essence called Fragments of 2030, and I can show it to you right here.
Yeah.
Right here. There's Fragments of 2030, and basically I wanted to say that I have enough Saint quartz to equip a front line with Saint quartz Fragments of 2030. So 2030 times 3. And then also on top of that, 6,300 Saint quartz fragments means that it means that I can make a Reddit post saying that I have enough Saint quartz to redeem for pity. Like, you can't farm these Saint quartz fragments, you have to pretty much get them through logins or through the story. Or like, there was one time through it was that Christmas event with Santa Carna in it. You could get a bit of Saint quartz fragments there as well. And then I guess the last thing of note is the soundtrack. Let's see, I just went past it. I've unlocked all of the soundtracks, I think. Oh no, I haven't. Oh, these are new ones. Oh, okay. You know what? I should definitely open these up because these are just monuments. Like, those are super easy to... Yeah. Let me go ahead and do that. Yeah, these are really good ways to burn right through some of your resources if you have nothing else to do. I think that's pretty much it. So once I finish unlocking all of these tracks, I think that's pretty much the ongoing status of my account. Yep, there's Go Ahead and that's Tron and Tunguska. I don't know if they have any Lost Belt 7 tracks. They do. Good. I'm not going to play any of them for now just because of copyright reasons, but they are great soundtracks and you can definitely find them all online. Let's see. I guess there's actually, before I end the video, I think I didn't show you the ordeal class score, that how much I was working on it, because that's one of the limited time master missions that I was supposed to do. I think I could redeem it, come to think of it, but it's not that important right now. The main thing is I just want to show you how far I've gone into the tree. So let me just finish this up. Perfect. Is there anything else? Nope. Looks like that's it. Okay, so let's quickly go over to the class score. Yeah, so you can kind of see I've been working on Berserker. So you can see, like, I've unlocked a lot of the class tree. I believe the other advanced quests, the high difficulty quests, sorry, not the advanced quests, the high difficulty quests in the Ordeal Call map give you the red currency, or is it the star one? I forget. It's probably the star one. That's basically what you need to unlock the rest of the tree, and you need this dust as well in order to finish up the tree. I will be working on that, and then I want to work on Avenger as well, but Avenger has not been unlocked, as you can see right here. It's only alter ego, so I'm not going to work on that. Eventually, over the years, I think you can unlock like 4 of the class scores, so it's just a matter of time. I think I'm unlocking Berserker, Avenger, Caster, and Saber, but don't quote me on the last 2. And then, anything else worth knowing? Oh, I haven't redeemed any of these pure prisms, so what you see is what you get on the tin. I don't have anything that I care about in terms of the rare prisms, because I got all the CDs, or else I've gotten duplicates and stuff like that. Let's see. Evocation, I've only redeemed like the Ascension materials. I haven't really exchanged for duplicates because it's not necessary. I will exchange for coins in due time, but I just don't have enough leaves for that. I've never redeemed any of these saplings for blue apples. I've gotten all of the skins. And then I've already expanded all the second archives. And you can see, once again, I have enough for 9 grails, so I have 50 grails in total. And then this is the scam system, the Leviathan system. So in HSR, there is the Silver Companion Spirit when you get more than E6 of any given unit, if I'm correct. So like if you had like E7 Ranmei or E7 Bailu or whatever, you get Silver Companion Spirits. You need 10 of these to redeem for 1 unit, and you can only do it once per banner. So yeah, don't like this is the reason why FGO technically had a pity system, but then they implemented a pity system with later and during the later years. But as you can see, like one copy is guaranteed on the 330th summon, one time only. On JP, I believe it's updated to 3 times. And I'm hoping on the 10th anniversary, it'll be like the requirements will be lowered, but we'll see about that. I'm skeptical because they love telling people you gotta pay them. I think there's also multiple GSSRs in the future, come to think of it. So yeah, I guess the final thing is, would I go and spend on this game? Okay, so before I had earned, well not earned, I had won $95 of giveaways initially, and then I earned another 15, so that was $110 worth of Saint Quartz. So that was like, let's see, it was like 81 and then 15, so yeah, at that point I was working with like more than 100. I'm pretty sure I loaded in at least one more pack, if not 2 packs, 2 $80 packs of Saint Quartz, just to prepare for the Destiny order. And I think I'll be purchasing one more pack, one final pack really, just to keep me I want an even number of paid Saint Quartz. And also it's 86, my bad. I'm miscalculating. Anyways, I just want to make sure that I can use this to fund my future GSSRs and Destiny orders. So yeah, I think that once I purchase the final $80 pack, I'll be at an even number of paid Saint Quartz. So it'll be 114 plus 86, so that would be 200 paid Saint Quartz, and then that should be enough to tide me over for at least 2 more years. And then after that, I mean, if the game ends, the game ends. If the game moves on, if like a new gacha game comes, so be it. Like, I've spent my fair share in Fate. I started rolling into GSSRs and stuff like that ever since that $95 giveaway back in year 5. So yeah, I mean, all in all, I haven't spent that much in the game if you think about how long I've been playing, which is almost 7 years. So yeah, I think that covers it. Constructive criticism is appreciated. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and say something in the comments. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.